Is it really possible to bite your tongue and commit suicide? Remember the scene where the characters bite their tongues and commit suicide in the action film and television series? After the person is under control, biting his tongue seems to be the fastest and the most effective way to kill himself. So many people have this question: can biting the tongue really make people die immediately? What is the principle of suicide by biting your tongue? The tongue is actually a piece of muscle tissue in the mouth. The inside of the tongue is rich in nerves and capillaries, and there are larger blood vessels at the deeper root of the tongue. So, is death from excessive blood loss by biting the tongue? There are abundant blood vessels on the tongue, but most are located in the root or deep part of the tongue. If the tongue is bitten or accidentally broken, the large blood vessels are rarely damaged. If the capillaries are broken, there is no possibility of causing massive bleeding, let alone being killed on the spot due to rapid and massive blood loss. The total amount of human blood is about 4 to 6 liters. Only when a person's acute bleeding reaches more than 30% will it reach the limit of human composition, which is life-threatening. Take a 500 milliliter bottled water as an example. It's life-threatening to lose more than 3 bottles at a time. This amount of bleeding is very large, and it's difficult to do just by biting of the tongue. Furthermore, even after biting your tongue, you bite deep in the root of the tongue and lose so much blood. It's impossible to die like that in the movie and TV series. It may even be halfway through biting the tongue and the blood has clouded. Some people analyze that biting the tongue and committing suicide is because after biting the tongue, it will produce severe pain, which will lead to death. In medicine, this phenomenon becomes neurogenic shock. Whether it's biting the tongue and committing suicide or accidentally breaking the tongue, the pain often makes the nerves excited. In this case, it will not cause neurogenic shock, will not let people die immediately. Even if neurogenic shock occurs, the possibility of death is very small, so it's impossible that bite your tongue and kill yourself by pain. Some guys say maybe death from suffocation by biting the tongue. Theoretically speaking, any entry into the oral cavity may enter the trachea by mistake, so biting the tongue and bleeding may cause suffocation. But it needs to be understood that death from suffocation is a death caused by being in an abnormal position for a long time, restricting breath function. Especially a living person who wants to bite his tongue and kill himself. The pain and the coughing in the process will make the person move instinctively. It's impossible to keep a posture in a weakened state unless he is tied up. After the tongue is broken, the amount of bleeding will not be so large that it will block the trachea and cause suffocation. Whether it's a bitten tongue falling into the throat or suffocation caused by blood flowing back into the airway, there is a theoretically possibility, but the actual probability may be very small. So, if you want to get rid of yourself by biting your tongue, it's impossible to die immediately.